Somanawashi Javachu Janata things like Yamashu Yang, there's Jajusamba Samba Jamba Baba Jareza Wanjushira Japaro to Jamba Soma Javanyana Nambata Chapamanga Motala Rashi Tomaya. Somanawashi Javachu Janasa Jetu Zatan Bashire, Jajusamba Samba Jamba Baba Jareza Wanjula, the Jamasori Japar, Japamakala Shira Japaro to Jamba Soma Javanda Vade, Chidalava. Take Mamada Jaju Samba Samba Jamba Bashara Sawanju Shira Jabaru Jama Jula Bashara Bolan de Jamasori Jabari Jabari Jabamakala Shira Jabaru Jaba Soma Jaba Jabatu. The Tanabata Jatapamanga Tatala Rashi Jatoma and the Vajuso Sutombo Tomani Susula Tomani Shama Tomani Lejusu Jama and the Shavata to Chetan to Chetan Napachapana Tomo. Sheriff to the church, the Jetoman, the senior member Majaba Manga, but the Mama, but the mother, but the woman, Bakawam, Bawa, Sheriff, the one of the Manila Suman, and the Jeman to Jeman, the Jeman, women, and the Mejiman, may Mesometer. Romero Jemichu, and the Meji Kama, Ija, again, Abashaba, Kanjapatoyam, and the Mareva, Basava, Manakashim, Gashes of Patoyam, and the Tation to the Moa, the Kujo, the Kopatala, may she met the woman, the Payam, and the Sheriff. The Tavana Judges of Manatava member Cherishiro Japaro to Jamatala, the Janet, the Sala Java, Majatava, Majichulu, and Shidu, the Yangan, and the Vataraja to Sultana Machi, Pasajata Jishiro, Japaro to Jamatala, the Nana Mayan, the Vasavaju, Dongomas of Sanja, so the Tavana Shiro Japaro to Chimanga, Pochamang. Lana Memanga, Minyamada, Number Jibanga, Donga, the Jero, the Shiro Jibanga, Menzavana, the Bacha Baja, the Shiro Japaro to Chimanga, Mamatata, Omanga, the Paranga, the Parasanga, the boat, the so Sherebo, Samba Samata, the Shiro Japaro. Somala Bajava, the Najam, the thing and the Delation, the Jaju Samba Samba Jambo, Vachara, so on Jola, so she's our journalist, so Ricky, potation of the Tation, the Secretary, the Patation, to Shiro Japaro, to Chamala Javaja. This is Javan Jesu Yirangum, the Digajaka, and I said, and the Mashere, but the Jesu Samba Samba Mavacharas, I want you to touch it at the Bakura, the mental Hamai, that is a Chimachite. Jumden de Jesumba Langumberto, the Omagata, the Paranga, the Parasanga, the Badaswa, the Tanga, 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 the Paranga, the Parasanga, the Badaswa, the Paranga. Namala Malacha, Zalo Sanjala Cha, Zalo Chola Cha, Zalo Jindala Cha, Zalo Jamachara Jabara, the Jamala Cha, Zalo Taji, the Betsetova, Jitangona, Omachi, Jamachara Jabara, Jamata, Somijala Chichaka, the Jabala, to the Jealous of a Medivision, the Jishara, the Partition of Taji, Jamachara Jabara, Somijalas. Second of the Jabala, then to the Jealous of a Medivision, the Jichara and Dova, Jujimamba, Jujisho, Jujara, the Showa, George, Kanjat, the Jetawa, Jangaba member, Jemamba, Chapa member, Tamamba, one member, the Dimension. Tubanji Shitamba of Sanjamana Jatabatella Charles, Lord, Jeretona Jushu, the Meduna Bejan and the water the butter chips of Jobeta Shitija, the Tele show to Susan Jacuno. Rasijugo of the Zavala language, Tabia to Jejer, Shinjimento to Jibonjoba, Sijilamba, the Vajivago, Shijitu, the language. Timeva to Jijango, Mandashijan, Bajadawa, Tajisaba, Kunji Chuji, Yaman de Gur and Janguja. Taso Sijita Jelo Jodo, Jilla to search, Alando Loma, Jingel of the Sola Trobasava, Jingel of the Sotrova issues, Jingel of the Sonajij, the Bandalaman Sola Chips, essential Hadamas. Nasa Bandalaman Sola Chips, Jatova, watching Jell of the Sotujish, watching Jell of the Sentence of the Bajingel. Chaja Chamber, Jung, said the yellow Topra Jingel of those Sanjay Kunda Lamala, Kosunguba Chamber Chazalon, the Menelo Rawashaba, that's a Drobanyam Bachinki. Okay, so good morning. As a generally in the Buddhism, it's called the 3 times virtues. Oh, how come? I don't know how come you cannot open. I make the same things that before. Okay, I will do one more time.
Escuchan.
Okay, I hope. Okay, so as a generally, as the same in the when come to the Dharma, make sure 3 times of virtues. I think it's called the, or preparation, or preliminary practice, and actually and conclusions. So virtue as a beginning, as a intention. Every action have a intention for what purpose, why we doing that one. So recognizing that is I think important, because without the knowing purpose of your main reason, and if you do something, and a lots of time we wasting that our time for doing something that is not really meaningful. So, like for example, today we're going to have a red Tara. Okay, lots of people have a mis idea of red Tara, because there's one story about the red Tara, and people think that red Tara is a kind of like a, the friendly, openly can say is so lots of people think by practicing red Tara, you will find the girlfriend or boyfriends. That's not really a good intention to do practice Dharma. One way, two way, also, just doing certain recitation can happen, that one, but that will come later. We will talk later more on this. So intention of our whatever practice doesn't matter. Always have to be including one of those 3 motivations, but especially in this is a Vajrayana, so have to be all 3 motivations. So according to the Hinayana, motivation must be renunciation. So renunciation is a come from fear of samsara. So that way you have to know first about the suffering of samsara. We know suffering of suffering. So because of that reason, lots of time people saying is, I already know about the suffering. I don't want to hear about the suffering. I'm not come for talk. I'm not come here to discuss on the suffering, because I already know. I want to be happiness. That way I come to the Dharma. Yeah. So until you get rid of suffering, you actually cannot find the true happiness. So when come to the get rid of suffering, there's a two called the suffering and source of suffering. Makes sense? So without the knowing of the source of suffering, cannot eliminate the suffering. Make sense? So if you want to cure if you want to become healthy, you have to cure your sickness. If you want to cure the sickness, you have to know the source of the sickness. Otherwise, it's no point. These days, a lot of people just try to avoiding the sickness by taking the painkiller medicines, such as those prescription. That prescription not going to help you. actually long-term, it will harm you. And you become dependable on that prescription. And rest of your life is become depend on that kind of help, yeah? So basically, by that kind of prescription medicine, killing part of your nerve, and that's called a painkiller, yeah? So this is not really helping you to eliminate your really main problem. So these days, that kind of prescription is really popular, and that reason, I mean, our what called the mentally, can say illness, yeah, mental illness is never be eliminated. It's increasing actually. Why? Because we are not really curing, we're not treating really source of problem. Yes. So that reason, we must know that where come from that suffering. Yeah, what is the really main causing of that suffering? So then we have to know the main cause of that, all those suffering, what we experience is called the joy. We just call the suffering of change. So because of that joy, we have this all afflictive emotion. Make sense? Attachment, hatred, jealousy, anger, all those afflictive emotion is because of that joy. Because of that afflictive emotion, we're creating the negative karma. So for our own joy, we create a negative karma lots of time. Like a simple way, they said, oh, I really like, tasty food. So that way we eat meat. So that's related to the negative karma way. Without the killing the animal, cannot have the meat, basically. So those are our joy or happiness, creating the more later miserable. Make sense? So I think knowing of the suffering and knowing of the source of suffering, then finally we can find the cure. So in the Buddha said, our main suffering is created by the afflictive emotion, those three afflictive emotions, anger, the ignorance, attachment, and aversions, called the three root of afflictive emotions. Because of those three root of afflictive emotion, we created a negative karma. So mind, when come to the non-virtues as a mind, is there is called the covetousness, harmful thought, and wrong view. Those are three negative or three non-virtue from the mind. So covetousness means the attachment. Harmful thought means the angry, or aversion, and wrong view mean the ignorance. By those three negative emotion and physically three non-virtue and speech or verbal for non-virtue, we create it. Make sense? So like for example, killing, from the 10 non-virtue. First one is a killing. There's a three way to kill. Some kill because of the attachment. Yeah. So like, for example, people go to hunting for the food, people go to hunting for the sport. So those all is related to the attachment. Then also called the killing by the aversions, like a war, war kill each other. And also people fighting, and through the fighting to kill each other. And these days, there's no reason for people killing, lots of people for no reason, because they get angry. Because they are angry, they involved to the other's life put it in the dangers. So that's just a killing by the aversions. Then there are lots of sometimes based on the religion and animal sacrifice. Make sense? It's called animal sacrifice? Yeah. Cruise? Animal cruise? What called it? Like animal killing?
Cruise is sacrifice. That's what I always heard.
Same, yeah? Okay. So that is related to the ignorance. So we engage in those kind of non-virtue because of our mind is overpowered by the afflicted emotion of like those afflicted emotions. If your mind is really healthy, if you're really happy and you're really, a positive thinker, you're not going to engage in this kind of negative. So we have to know same time suffering of the suffering and source of suffering. Yeah, then we can get the truly renunciations. So what is the renunciation of the suffering? Is it to practice the Dharma? Buddha gave the three basket or three trainings. Yeah, so those three basket is the antidote of the three afflicted emotions. So point is whatever we do the Dharma practice must become to antidote of the afflicted emotion. Yeah. So if you want to practice the right Tara to try to find the partner, for that reason, if you want to practice the right Tara, you abusing Dharma to gain the mundane benefit, which is actually increasing the afflicted emotion. So we are actually walking wrong direction. So this is not about to right Tara. It's not about to finding something like partner or whatever, your companion. Lots of people think that way. Because okay, so that is called the motivation of the renunciations. Want to be free from suffering, and this how to reach to the free from suffering is by relying on the three jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Now, this motivation is increase, or can say become more profound. So you want to be free from suffering, not just only for yourself. You want to be free from suffering for benefit of every sentient beings. That is called the bodhicitta. Make sense? Then in the Vajrayana is called the five excellent. But these two motivation, renunciation and the bodhicitta is the essential key point about how to practice the Vajrayana. A reason why I'm saying this one is because there's one story. In India, there's one king called Rubedoji. I think Rubedoji, his name is. There's one king, and of course, that time, most of king, they have many wives. So one of his older wife, now lately, she have no chance to see him much. So she want to figure out some kind of like a magic power or some kind of help to bring him to her. So her one servant went and she found some kind of like a tantric, and that lady said, okay, you give this food to the king, then he will come to you. Then that servant bring to the queen, and the wife of the king, one of those wife, and give to her, but she got afraid. Maybe this have a poison or something, so she doesn't want to harm the king. So what did she was really afraid. So she threw the food in the water. Then Naga ate that one, and Naga king came to her. And she was pregnant. Then the king got really angry because he knew that's not his child. So then when king got really angry toward her, then she explained everything. Then king said, okay, then find this lady. So then they've searched, then she was actually one of emanation of Hamur Gichima. So then she gave him, the king, this practice, Red Tara practice. Then he became one of the Mahasiddha. One later. So because of that story, sometimes people assume as a Red Tara as a kind of like a, overpowering some things. But this is main reason is different. I mean, we will come here later, but I just want to read you one of Tara's supplication. Oh, I have two. Yeah. So this supplication is from the 21 Tara. The 10th one. I think this is the number 10th one. So in the page 13, it said, homage to the joy of a great manifesting whose sprouting head ornament sent out, guarded of the light with a great laughter to Tara, and you subjugate demon and their world. So what does it mean that through this practice, subjugate? Yeah, demon and their world. Demon and their world. Demon. Why you want to subjugate a demon? Because our world is overpowered by the demon. Demon means the negative. Yeah. So you subjugate the demon and their world means the overpowered by the demon. To transform into from the demon to spiritual. That's the main purpose. There's now it's a degeneration. There's so many people their mind is really overpowered by the afflicted emotions. Through this magnetizing activity, and you overpower them, and that way, then you can help them to liberate. That is the main purpose of this practice, not other way. Make deeper samsara. Make sense? So I think this reason I think sometimes people have a misunderstanding, because I heard that people talking about this. Somebody said, joggingly, when somebody said, cannot find a suitable partner, then they said, oh, you should practice the Red Tara. So I think that is a really totally mistake by thinking that way. So this Red Tara is originate from the Hevaja Tantra. In the Hevaja Tantra, it said, manifest from the she, the goddess, who is the red in color forearm, and she is holding the bow and arrow. And by meditating on this, all the three realms of samsara will overpower. So that is the main purpose, overpower of the sentient being. That way you can liberate them. Especially sentient beings who are, we always do this prayer, all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructor who harm me. Yeah, that kind of beings. Overpowered by them, so that way they are become peaceful, and you are free from hatred, free from enemy. So that is the main purpose. Yeah. So that is what is Vajratandra said. So that way, in this degeneration, there's so many harm. So we receive the harm from the human beings, and we receive the harm from the spirit. Yeah? So by overpowering them, and they become peaceful and compassionate. That is what is the main purpose of overpowering mean, you know. And also from the Vajratant Tantra said, by Tara, overpower the samsara, and as a Manjushri's wisdom will increase. I mean, the wisdom of a Manjushri will increase in that practitioner. So that kind of benefit will gain by meditating on the red Tara or Kurukuli. So then we know what is the main purpose of why we want to do. Yeah. So it's motivated by the renunciation and motivated by the bodhicitta you want to practice, not other way. Yes.
Well, I think I heard this. Is there any truth to it that red Tara can also, let's say if you're a Dharma practitioner in one lifetime or body time, in a future rebirth, she can bring you back to the Dharma if you go astray? Is there any truth to that? Or
I think that's all practice.
Okay.
Every practice will bring you the next life. So this way, whatever you are familiar in this life, in next life, you become that way to familiar. Yeah. Then, but sometimes we practice this life, but then we also have a downfalls. And certain downfall, maybe we are separate long period of time with the Dharma. So that way, some people from the beginning of the birth, they have really truly interest on the Dharma, but some people have that the interest is, come much later. Make sense? I think this have to do something. You already have experience of the practice of Dharma, because of the sometime we make the mistake, downfall. From that downfall causing us to separate from the Dharma long period of time. So answer is any kind of practice you do, long as you do, every day or whatever, I mean that long time, it will really help you to connect the next life too. And same time, of course, oh, you cannot hear? Oh, I don't know then how to fix this one.
Maybe if you mute.
How about now? No, I'm not mute. Okay. I don't know.
Can you adjust the volume on the mic?
Oh, how about now? It's better now? Yeah, it's on. I don't know. How about now? I don't know. What happened?
Remember when you're doing the blessing at the very beginning?
Yeah.
There was the echo effect. And then I know you hit a button and we didn't hear you coming through the internet stream anymore.
Really?
Yeah, because remember you're doing the blessing, I think it's the Heart Sutra, you're doing the blessing at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then I could hear, you saying it, and then I could also hear it from the computer.
Oh, that is, I just recorded one.
Okay.
How about now? Can you hear? Okay, can you check your computer? I think I cannot do anything here. Okay, so and this one is actually is said, the practice is said daily recitation of the Arya Tara overpowering activity from the primordial Lord Wishun feeling Tantra. I think this is a primordial Lord Wishun feeling Tantra is maybe kind of like a Kundu Sambo, some kind of Tantra which is related to the Kundu Sambos, Buddha Kundu Sambo there. So there's many according to the Nyima tradition, so there are many Tantra. So one of those, but I'm not familiar with that because this sadhana was a treasure review by one of the Degung Tibetan called that Tibetan Vasedoji. So, but actually, originally Pema Sambhava taught this one to I think King Tisundizen and some of close disciple. But after that, he buried in the treasure. So then later reviewed by in the I think 19th century reviewed by the one Tongden Degung Tongden called the Vesedoji. So that way, I think this is related to the some kind of like a Nyima Tantra from that. So basically, this is called the primordial Lord. Is most of the time is talking about the Kundu Sambo, the Kundu Sambo. Okay. So here said sit on the comfortable cushion in the idle surrounding. So idle surrounding mean the environment is healthy. If a Dharma practitioner need a healthy environment. What does a healthy environment mean? Physically, no destruction, or that environment not danger for your health. So you have to sit. The place is no dangers from the and like human or animals. Same time, no dangers for your health. So you have to find the place anytime practicing Dharma, that is important. But advanced practitioner or whatever, this is what I heard Jidisumgun said. Dharma practitioner must choose the practice a little bit kind of like give you a little bit fearsome. I think maybe that is true. Most of like a Milareba's caves. If you go there, they are a little bit, scary area, not really beautiful. Because if you stay in the really beautiful place, it can become a distraction. And we're busy to be just enjoying the sightseeing, and we forget about the meditation. But there's a little bit fearsome, then it helps you to more concentrate, more mindfulness. This is not this. My mom told me we had one nun. So she goes to the place, really like a scary place, her retreat place most of the time. But wherever she goes, her family have to bring food, monthly food, have to bring there. So one time she was one place, and one servant had to go to bring her food. But it was too late for him to return. So he stayed that night in the cave with her. And later, middle of the night, some kind of spirit come and door open, and something put really heavy thing on the floor and chopping that one. And he was so scared, but she had no reaction on that. So what I'm saying is, I think a lot of those great practitioners, they choosing the place is a little bit fearsome. I think with that kind of place, helpful for more, mindfulness. Yeah. So the Jidisumgun said for the retreating place need a little bit fearsome. I heard something like that. So maybe, but doesn't matter. Either way, have to be idle surrounding mean the have a nice place, which is nice place mean the healthy, no dangers. Yeah. So that way then you can sit there really long time. You can do. So that is what it means. Then to the sevenfold meditation posture of the Bharojana. So seven posture of Buddha Bharojana. So seven posture is related to the called the essential point of the body posture. Yeah, and that's just like a legs cross or called the Vajra posture or a lotus posture, and a spine straight, shoulder open, neck slide forward, eye gaze toward to the front, hand meditation posture, and tongue and teeth slice kind of like live as a nature, whatever. So this is called the seven posture of Buddha Bharojana. Why is it called the seven posture of Buddha Bharojana? Reason is when come to the 5 Buddha family. So Buddha Bharojana is the body. Amitabha is a speech. Akshupya is the mind. Ranasambhava is a quality. And Amangasiti is the activities. So that is what it means that by learning how to sit as a seven posture, it will bring you to the enlightened body. So that way it's called the seven posture of the Buddha Bharojana. Because the Buddha Bharojana is the embodiment of all the enlightened body. So we just mean that by meditating, by learning seven posture, bring you to the enlightened body. Result of sitting seven posture, bring you to the enlightened body. So that way I think they use it as a posture of Bharojana. Because this is called the essential point of the body, how to sit. And by learning this way, saying as a mind will bring to the some degree of a meditation. Some degree of the meditation. So there's one story in India, one forest, that some monks meditating there long period of time. That way, in that area, the monkey really happy to see them, and every day they bring the fruit. Then later, then slowly, all those monks reach to the parinirvana. It means that they died, aging and death. Then nobody is there. So that some nearby, some non-Buddhism practitioner, they thought this is a really good place. Because of that, they move themselves there because they thought those monkeys going to be served for them too. But then they sit their own posture and monkeys stop bringing fruit. Then they said, okay, maybe we sit like those monks. So when they started sitting like the monk had meditation posture, monkeys start bringing fruit. Because that reason they always sit that way, and they reach to the certain level of the samadhi by just sitting that way. So that is showing as a learning how to sit, have a great power to bring mind to the meditation. And in the Vajrayana, actually those seven posture is the what called the tool or method to how to bring to our 5 wind element to the central channel by learning that one. Like a cross leg, block the downward wind and force to bring to the central channel, like a neck slightly what called the bend. It calls to what called the upper, upper channel, upper wind, upward wind to block and force to bring to the center channel. So things like that. So this is a Pamatuba said by seven posture. Actually, he including to the generation stage and the completion stage, and he make 9 posture. By those 9 posture, it will bring to the our afflicted wind to forcefully to the central channel, and it become wisdom wind. So that reason I have to learn this called the 7-fold meditation posture of Bharojana. Then exhale 3 times from each of the 3 nadis. So there's a 3 channel in the center called the central channel and right channel, left channel. This is mostly is a cleansing by this cleansing of our what called the impure wind before we're practicing. So I think this one you should watch Holiness, what called the demonstrating on the video there. But basically at that time you have to press in the ring finger. And saying it's a ring finger is the nerve or channel which run the afflicted wind. So pressing that one and block that afflicted wind. So then this also same position, but block here. So first you inhale, completely fill your stomach, and exhale, like remove all the air. Then by doing this one, like inhale strong and long, and by closing this one, inhale strong and long, and exhale same. Then inhale strong and short, exhale same way. Then inhale gentle and until completely your body is full, and exhale gently, but until your stomach completely empty on the end. Then change with the hand or the hand position, same way. Then those both hand put on the knee and do this 3 times. So this is I think there's a one exercise called the Bibukutu, 9 way to breathing. So why they use as a 3 times is each one is 3 times. So 3 times the 3 is become a 9. Okay. Also, there's another way. It's called the 3 cleansing of the impure wind. So that one is first one is as the same, clean all your wind completely. Then inhale really gentle that enough to, and even your nose hair, not that kind of gentle, because they say is our nerve as a channel are really delicate. If you do too strong from the beginning, it can break some of those small ones. So I have to be until you're completely as a filled with the air and hold there period of time. Then exhale so gently until complete your stomach. Then second one is a little bit stronger, but same way to until you feel your stomach, and exhale same way, a little bit stronger. And third one is a strong one. So this one is called a Trivajar. Sometimes in the recitation mantra also, sometimes they use as a Dorjisungi Deba. This means the Trivajar recitation. So when you inhaling hum with the hum mantra sound, inhale. Then when you holding in the navel, the air, sound, like a sound with a syllable. When exhaling, with om syllable. So there's a many different methods how to do this one, but mostly this is just cleansing of the impure air. Okay, so people could do all 3 times purification of the airs like this. Now with the devotion and the love, visualizing the Ayatara thus. So this is basically saying is encouraged by or motivated by devotion and Dua means kind of like it's a love, but also similar like a kind of like a care, a kind of closeness. Make sense? Yeah. So with this, and we have to visualize it as a Ayatara. Actually, here said visualizing as a field of refuge. So, field of refuge. As a and in our heart, on the syllable transform to the moon, and on the moon, our own nature of a mind, red syllable, and radiate the multicolored light from the tree, liberate all sentient beings. Then again, radiate the light from the tree, inviting the field of refuge field of refuge. And the field of refuge you can visualizing on the front of you in the mandala of Tara. And the Tara's mandala is the main door is facing to the east, and you are directly, facing to the north. Tara's door, mandala door is facing to the east. Inside the mandala, called the jewel throne, supported by the 8 great lion, And the center of the throne, their throne is a Buddha Amitabha, which is your root guru, inseparable. Your root guru manifests as a form of Buddha Amitabha, and they're surrounded by all the lineage guru. And the front is the Tara as a deity. Right of the Buddha Amitabha is on another throne as a Shakyamuni Buddha, surrounded by all the 1,014 Buddha, and behind is a scriptural as a Dharma, and the left is a Sangha of the ordinary, ordained and non-ordained Sangha, and those are called the field of taking refuge. Buddha, Guru, deity, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Then we have to take refuge. I think can say the cause of refuge, yeah? Cause of refuge is there's three different why we're taking refuge. Sometimes cause of taking refuge as a devotion. Sometimes cause of taking refuge as a fears. And sometimes cause of the taking refuge as a compassion. So three. Like a cause of taking refuge from the devotion means that when you see certain Buddha and their appearance, their quality, and so based on that, you want to take refuge too. I met some people, they have no interest of the Dharma, but after meeting certain guru, they really interested on the want to take refuge because of that guru, seen by that guru. Make sense? That is a cause of by taking refuge as a devotion. But then certain people take refuge because of the fear of samsara, fear of suffering. Make sense? So they take a refuge, fear, because of the fear. And the third one is taking refuge from the compassion, mean that in the samsara, sentient beings are suffering. There are many suffering you can see around us. And there's no way we can, liberate them from that suffering. So when we're looking, who can truly liberate them from that suffering? Is only Buddha, even not the Bodhisattva, even not the Arhat. Only Buddha can do. So they take a refuge as a as a refuge, as I want to become a Buddhahood for benefit of sentient beings. So that way, motivated by the compassion. So there's a three different ways to motivate it to why we take a refuge: because of the devotion, because of the fears, and because of the compassion. And some people maybe involve all three. Then how to take refuge is now we are ordinary beings who are from the samsara, and from the east gate, from the east front of this field of refuge, and our right side is our father, left side is a mother, front is enemy, behind is a sixth sentient being from the six realms, and all were taking refuge from now on until total complete Buddhahood. Buddha as a teacher, Dharma as a teaching, Sangha as a community. I want to take refuge. Yeah? So that is why this, and also sometimes it's said a special, what called not special. Not special, what is superior, yeah, superior of the path by taking refuge, because protecting taking refuge make the superior path because it will protect from the wrong path. Yeah, and making a superior path of the not superior.
Supreme.
I think can say protecting from the wrong path, taking refuge, protecting from the impure path, or what is the opposite of the superior?
Inferior?
Inferior path, like so taking generally in bodhicitta. Yeah. So that way there's here said, from your heart center radiate the light ray, and they're actually appearing in the front space above you. A sample of the Lama Arya Tara performing the magnetizing activities. So this is why it's called the magnetizing activities. Is because of for the enlightened activity, red is the magnetizing activities. Yeah. So what magnetizing is it? Beings, evil beings, magnetizing. So that way they transform into the compassionate. Yeah. So that way, visualizing from. Then we take a refuge. Said, homage to the Dharmakaya Buddha, infinity of the infinity, and Sambhogakaya generosity, homage to the Nirmanakaya Pema Sambhava, and Dagini Hishisoke. So here, the Buddha as a Dharmakaya, Buddha as a Sambhogakaya, Buddha as a Nirmanakaya. So Dharmakaya means the Amitabha, infinity light as a Amitabha. Infinity. Infinite. Buddha of the infinite. And Sambhogakaya as a Chiresi, and Nirmanakaya as a Pemasambhava. And union with the Yishisoje. Homage to the Arya Tara, who is the embodiment of all the enlightened beings. So this, when we visualize in front of us, Tara, she must be embodiment of all the enlightened. Her body as a Buddha, her speech as a Sangha, as Dharma, her mind, her mind as a Buddha, Sangha, her speech as a Dharma, her mind as a Buddha. Or her mind as a Dagini, her speech as a deity, and her body as a guru. So 3 root or 3 jewels, inseparable. Or another way you can say Tara's mind as an inseparable of the Buddha Amitabha as a Dharmakaya Buddha. Tara's speech is inseparable of the Avalokiteshvara, Buddha of the compassion, Nirmana Sambhogakaya Buddha. And Tara's body is inseparable of the Nirmanakaya Buddha of the Pema Sambhava. But either way, any practice of the deity, that particular deity had to be embodiment of all the 3 jewels, 3 roots. So then we have to take refuge, a symbol of the noble ascended Tara. Yeah. So like a 21 Tara or 15 Tara, there's a many different numbers. So all those Taras, because they are from one manifest as a many, so they are inseparable. That way we take refuge to the 3 jewels, Then make it superior of the path by generating bodhicitta. Said by the power of the propitiating, how to say this? Perpetuating and practicing you until reach to the Buddhahood for the sake of ripening and liberating all sentient beings. I will not be let go of this pledge even for my life. I therefore generate the model and apply bodhicitta. Aspiration and apply bodhicitta. Sorry. So what does it mean that this is saying is it perpetuating and practicing as a accomplishing and approaching or relying, by relying on the Tara, so you accomplish to the state of the Tara. So until that, I reach to the Buddha. That is a you want to reach to the Buddhahood. Why you want to reach to the Buddhahood? Because until we reach to the Buddhahood, we are not capable to liberate sentient beings from unconditionally, or say, all souls. Until we reach to the Buddhahood, even the 10th women Bodhisattva, they have some shortage because they are not complete free from the ignorance. So still, so you have to be become a Buddhahood. Only Buddha can liberate sentient beings. How to liberate is a ripening and liberating. So here, ripening means like a preparation, preparing to the sentient beings that can be practiced. So ripening means the empowerment. So through the empowerment to make the ready to practice, and liberating means the instruction. Once you receive the empowerment, then you are allowed to receive the instruction practice. Make sense? So ripening means the empowerment, liberation means the instruction. Through the this way to and through this way to sentient beings are liberated to reach to the Buddhahood. So until you become that kind of quality, I will not let go of the pledge, even from my life. It means that no matter what hardship comes, I'm not going to give it up. So this pledge is called the samaya. We make in samaya when we receive the empowerment. Is it that making pledge of you make the commitment something, then that commitment have to be continual. Long as you make that commitment continually, you're not breaking the samaya. Yeah.
Is this a form of the bodhisattva vow?
Yes, it's making bodhisattva vow. For what reasons? Reason is it that way you can practice the bodhicitta, practice Tara to become a Buddhahood. Yeah. So I therefore generate the aspiration and apply bodhicitta. So there's a bodhisattva vow. There's two bodhicitta: aspiration bodhicitta and action bodhicitta. So that is two bodhicitta is talking about here. So that way, this is mainly generating bodhicitta. What kind of general bodhicitta mean? I want to become a Buddhahood. Why you want to become a Buddhahood? Say, because I want to liberate sentient beings. Without become a Buddha, I cannot liberate sentient beings. Make sense? So that is what bodhicitta mean. Then 7, how to become it is you need to support by the accumulation of merit. Without the accumulation of merit and approaching or reaching to the state of the deity is impossible. So we must need the cause to, accomplishing the deity. The main cause of accomplishing the deity is to accumulation of the merit and accumulation of the wisdom. So this one is to accumulation of the merit. There are lots of time there's called the accumulation, the merit, what called the based on the impure field and accumulation of the merit with the pure field. So this one is a accumulation of merit with the pure field. So you have to invite the field of accumulation in front of you, which is the Tara surrounded by all the Buddha and Bodhisattvas in the space. Like a completely filled with a red Tara as the center, and all the 21 Tara and Buddha and Bodhisattva, everything is like a space completely filled in the front of you. Then you have to accumulate the merit. So that we call the accumulation of merit based on the pure field. Yeah. So it said, in the expense of the object appearance that is the completely pure and brightly lit by the 6 lamps, reward noble mother Tara, Arya Tara. So in the expense of the expense of the object, or as expense as in the space, who are you inviting for the fuel of accumulation as a noble mother Arya Tara? And here said that so said appearing that is completely pure and brightly in the 6 lamps. So that is talking about the complete enlightened, pure. I said pure accumulation merit based on the pure. So this is 6 lamp is I think it's called the 6 lamp as a based on in the Tantra, in the Dzogchen Tögyel teachings, and based on the Dzogchen. So there's called the first called the lamp of the innate ground. So innate ground is talking about the nature of a mind, luminosity of the nature of a mind. The inner nature mind with the luminosity is called the inner ground. Then second also lamp of the heart. So lamp of the heart is this is a heart. The heart is like a like a tent. In the tent of the heart and the luminosity of the wisdom light. So this is like crystal, lamp, crystal ball inside this lamp, in the heart like that. So that we call the lamp of the heart. And lamp of the wide and smooth channel. This this lamp of the white channel is, I think, something the channel connected from the heart to the eye. That's some kind of heart channel, the heart to the eye. Then that's a white smooth channel. Then it's got the water lamp of the far soul. This is talking about the, I think, eyeball. The two, because the eyeball can see the far. Then is called the lamb of the Bardo state. And in the Bardo, they have recognizing we say mabu ngotraba. We say mabu ngotraba is a recognizing as a luminosity of the mother and son. So this one is a like a practitioner. When they're dying, they're recognizing their own luminosity of the nature of mind. That is so. That is talking about the Bardo state and lamb of the final fruitions. So lamb of the final fruition is a Shunubungu, which is the Dharmakaya. So that way, this is it. The space is basically talking about what you feel, inviting the feel front of you. Tara surrounded by the Buddha and Bodhisattva is the state of the Dharmakaya. That way, 6 lambs. This 6 lamb is the ultimate nature. Whoever see the ultimate nature, the luminosity, so that is basically talking about. So that way, I said, feel of accumulation, pure feel of accumulation. Yeah, what is the pure feel of accumulation? Is a complete Buddha. So that way is called the 6 lamb, Reverend Noble Mother Arya Tara. So that is manifest as a form of Tara. So another way is basically saying is within the state of the Dharmakaya, she manifests as a form of a Rupakaya, Tara. 6 lamb as a can say Dharmakaya, and Tara as a Rupakaya. So when it manifests a Buddha from the form Kaya, it's not separate from the Dharmakaya. Within the Dharmakaya, they manifest as a form body. Okay, something like that. They're surrounded by the infinity of the assembly of the Buddha of all the 10 directions and the 3 roots. So Buddha of the 10 directions mean the all, we planet. It's just one small dot. And there are so many that kind of, and so many of those have a Buddha. So that way, every direction there's a planet. So that way of the 10 directions and 3 roots. Root of the blessing as a guru, root of the accomplishment as a deity, root of the activity as a dakini or Dharma protector. 3 root. Who are the numbers as a item in the universe? So this feel as the when come to the number, there's no really this much. So basically it's a completely filled with space after those all Buddha, Bodhisattva, and Tara. Now it's to you, I prostrate with the devotion from my body, speech, and mind. So you're doing body prostration as a touching to your 5 lamb to the ground. That's called the body prostration. A speech prostration means the chanting the praise, and mind prostration means the devotion. With this body, speech, and mind doing prostration. So here prostration is showing the respect, yeah, showing the humbleness of yourself. Yeah, you putting them above, confessing my sin and obscurations. All we facing challenge in the life sometimes you can call the obstacles. Sometimes you call the difficulties. Sometimes you call the, unpleasant circumstance, whatever. All they are result of our negative karma. So that is we normally divide it into the called the calming obscurations, obscuration of the liberation, and obscuration of the omniscience. So especially why we have lots of problem in our life. Sometimes our problem come from outside, name of the enemies or other way to become problems. Sometimes it's our own health is become a problem. Yeah. So there's always be outer problem or inner problem. There's always a facing challenge because something there's a karmically we have to pay back. That's called obscurations. So that obscuration is created by the negative karma. So that way I said sin and obscurations. Those all obscurations are not coming to us with a causelessly. We created that cause. Here they use translate as a sin. It can say negative karma. Because of the negative karma, we facing lots of challenge in our life. Sometimes you wishing to be something happen, at that moment something goes wrong. Sometimes people try to make deal of the business and that almost happened but not happened. There's lots of time we're facing karmic obscuration. Make sense? Mm-hmm. So we have to purify them. How to purify them is by confessing. So that way I said, I confess my sin and obscurations. I visualizing the huge area of the offering array. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's an offering, two types of offerings: physically arrange and mentally visualize. Physically arrange means according to our financial, capable. We have to physically arrange. So in past life, you did some good karma. That way, you have this life, all those fortunate material, whatever you have. Now, these lives responsibility is make sure those fortune make use somewhere, that benefit for the next one. Not only just these lives using. So we have to accumulate by offering. Offering, I mean, there's a two way to accumulate: offering material to the higher being or giving to the sentient beings. Yeah. And I offer them to be most precious assembly of the Arya Tara. So to whom, says it, you offer all the physical, arrange and mentally visualize to the assembly of the Arya Tara. Please accept them. Thus many I complete the true accumulation and may be will of Dharma to turn. So to accumulation of the merit and accumulation of the wisdom, I think can say. Or yeah, so offering itself doesn't become an accumulation of the merit. When you're offering, and the offering is supported by the free from three spheres. Make sense? So then accumulation of the become a wisdom. It means the see as an empty nature. Offering, same time, meditate on the empty. Or other hand, we can say this way: offering supported by the wisdom and compassion. Then wisdom become an accumulation of the wisdom. Compassion become an accumulation of the merit. Yeah. So then there are also two accumulations. Maybe will of the Dharma turn. So this is requesting the Dharma teachings. I rejoice mean the others' merit, worldly quality, and enlightened qualities. All their good quality, we must rejoice. By rejoicing their quality or their merit, and we get same accumulation, same merit. We can gain same merit. That way, Chamiraga asks in the Sukho, the Pure Land prayer said, when you see someone is doing the meritorious activity, stop jealousy and start rejoice. If you rejoice, you get same amount of merit too. So you sincerely rejoice, you will get same amount of merit. If you not have sincere rejoice because of the jealousy or unhappiness or whatever negative emotion, you will not gain the same. So sincerely, you have to rejoice with that. And beseech Nirminda, I think, long life, and not to pass into the nirvana, but stay with us. That is the beseeching the long life. Because sometimes enlightened beings, they have to show up to us impermanent, teaching of the impermanent by taking Mahabharata Nirvana. So we have to request them to be please long life. And dedicated whatever merit generated from this for the liberation of all beings. So this to repeat 3 times, it means that there's two accumulation, 7 lamb. So this 7 lamb is, as I mentioned this many times, as a one way is called the accumulation of the merit. And another way, also this antidote of the afflicted emotions, like pay homage or prostration is an antidote of the pride, offering is the antidote of the stinginess, confessing is the antidote of the aversion, rejoicing is the antidote of the jealousy, and requesting the Dharma will as the antidote of the ignorance, and besieging as the antidote of the wrong view, and dedication is the antidote of the doubt. So this is the same time we accumulate the merit and purifying our negative emotion by doing this 7 lamb. Then second one is it's called the meditation on the emptiness. This mantra is actually a completion stage. Completion stage normally come end of the practice. First generation stage. But in the Vajrayana, generation stage have to be supported by the completion stage, and the completion stage with the generation stage. Make sense? So this is almost Subhashita Sarvadama Subhashita. It's called the meditation on the, like there's a 2 way to meditate on the emptiness, or can say to accumulation of the wisdom, 2 way. One is analytical meditation, like you starting on the Nagarjuna's middle way. There was a Why Buddhasada Contract, chapter 8. But sometime when you study those texts, I'm not sure your mind is bringing toward to the more close to the emptiness, or your mind is becoming more conceptual thought. There are so many debate. Make sense? There's so many debate, oh, my view this way, your view this way. Then there's so many debate. But sometimes those kind of debate can cause to disturb to your mind. So you have to be balanced. Those called the analyze. But sometimes you analyzing, but couldn't bring to the conclusion. Analyzing is removing your doubt. Once you remove, then you don't need to analyze anymore. But some people continually analyzing without bring to the conclusion. Then your mind cannot bring to the meditation on the emptiness. Because you always have a conceptual. So in Tibet, we have one joke, and maybe that's true. One monk pilgrimage and asked to one old lady, she said, can I stay in your house tonight? And that old lady said, if you're not scholar who learn a debate, it's okay, you can stay. Because so the debater, they always see kind of try to find some kind of criticism. Yeah, criticism. And that monk said, no, I'm not a debater, I'm just a simple monk. And that night, then the old lady found the lice on her body. In Tibet, lots of people have that, lice on body. And she gave to her daughter, said, please take this to somewhere not died. And basically, it's saying it's not died immediately, you know. Then monk said, mother, if their place there is no good to die, please throw me there too. And mom said, you are the debater monk. I don't want you get out. Because they always be criticizing someone by learning debate too much. So analytical meditation must be concluding, bring to some kind of conclusion. Once bring to the conclusion, you have to be stabilized meditation. If you continually analyzing, you will never bring to the conclusion. Why you never bring to the conclusion is it? When you're analyzing too much, you don't have an authentic answer. Why? Because you couldn't see the true nature. Until you see the true nature, you don't have an authentic answer, then your mind is really busy with analyzing, always. Make sense? So you have to be balanced with that. But through the analyzing, it will bring to the mind to the state of the emptiness. So meditation on the emptiness, two-way. Through the analytically meditation on the emptiness, or through the mantra to forcefully meditate on the emptiness. So this mantra, you know, and bring to the forcefully mind to the state of the emptiness by power of the mantra. So it like more like forceful, you know, said, okay, meditate on the emptiness. So this is actually as it belong to the completion stage. So meditating on the, okay, this is said, out of the emptiness, I spotlessly pure consciousness turned into the red Tara syllable, that the red Tara incidentally transformed into the red noble Bhagavati. Red thumb instantly transformed into the red noble Bhagavan Aryatara of the overpowering activity as on seat of the lotus flower, sun disk, and male and female worldly god and Mahadeva. Aryatara body is a ruby red and bright and radiant. So this she is sitting on the, it's basically said sitting on the Mara. And if you look the picture of this particular Tanga, there you can see four beings underneath her. So those four beings are is called the Mara of the five aggregate Asa, yellow Brahma, Mara of the afflicted emotion, symbol of a Mara afflicted emotion as a Ishwar, white, Mara of the son of the god as a Indra, kind of the red, yellow, and the Mara of the death as a Vishnu, as a black. So that you can see underneath there's 4 beings. So those are why these are called the Mara, because they are the worldly powerful beings, most powerful in the world. When you overpower them, restless, you will overpower. They are basically powerful, but still their mind is some degree of evil. So that way, even Hindu themselves said Shiva is a destroyer. So worldly beings, they have a power, but they still have evilness. So you overpowering their evilness, so that way they cannot abuse that power to negative way. Yeah.
When you say evil, do you mean,
Negative.
yeah, they're negative?
Yeah.
In a sense that they want to harm others?
There's
There's
a chance.
ignorance out of being mundane oriented.
It's a
towards
both.
Mundane.
Both.
Okay.
If they think they need to harm, they will.
Yeah.
They have ability to harm, and sometimes they will harm because they don't have enough compassion. They're not free from the afflicted emotion. Buddha have those all power more than that, but Buddha never harm because Buddha is free from afflicted emotion. Make sense? So that way they can have. So this is a symbol of why she's sitting on this worldly powerful being as a overpowering. That is what does it mean, the magnetizing activity mean. Yeah. So that is her. And said, Arya Tara has 1 face, 4 arms. She is slightly smiling with the face trains of the wrathfulness. And she is beautiful, has a graceful appearance of the 16 years old. And I heard in Europe, Holiness was giving, I think he was a Tantra empowerment. And he said, have to visualize a consort of Hevaja Vajavarahi, 16 years old. And a European man said, that is illegal. I have to meditate her as 18 years old, otherwise it becomes illegal. So that way 18 or 16, I don't know. Right hand of the heart, first sphere hold the lotus hook, raising in the space, and the left hand is a protection of the mantra, hold the red ubala flower at the heart center, and the last 2 hands hold the red lotus bow and arrow fully drawn. Her right leg is stretched out and left is slightly retreated. She is the embodiment of the indivisible emptiness and compassion. The Arya Tara has 3 eyes, so she have to be indivisibly emptiness and compassion, union of the emptiness and compassion. And she has 3 eyes. She is adorned with a silken cloth and bone ornament, precious jewel, and garland and red lotus flower. Her shiny black hair flow freely down on her back, and nipple are plump and her sacred lotus open. So and visualizing on the Aryatara's body infinite number of the deity of the overpowering activity like a mustard seed in the spirit. There's a white arm for a forehead, red R at the forethroat, and a blue hung at the heart center. So you now here's some question saying, okay, when you are visualizing on the Om Ah Hung, Hung is at the heart, but then visualizing a mantra, Tam is also at the heart. How come those two? But I think this is it. Hung is slightly above the heart, kind of top of the heart. Basically, it's like a heart is like a tent. Okay, and the tent have a what called this canopy? Canopy. That heart hung is in the canopy, and the thumb is on the floor. So that is a heart. You visualize in that way. So hung is slightly higher. Thumb is on the in the center of the heart. So a heart is like this. Above is a hung, and the center is a thumb. I think that is how you visualize Om. So that was Om Ahung, Om. Why is it a wide Om, wide forehead Om? I think there's a related to the body, speech, mind. There's a bindu, essence of the body, bindu, wide bindu as a forehead. And in the center of the channel chakra, the forehead, there's white bindu. That is the essence of the body. So that's called the white bindu as a forehead. That was body, white arm at the point at the forehead. Then speech as a throat, because speech is created from the throat, right? Ah as a speech. Okay, that our speech and our emptiness have a little bit different. Our speech have a small ah, so it's more like ah sound come. So that be the speech. Okay, sometimes emptiness, they say the matter on the empty ah. That is just simple ah. There are no other ah or anything. Make sense? So this is us as a speech ah. Drawing is also a little bit different. Then hung as a heart, blue hung. So white body as a purity of the body as a white arm, the truth of the speech as a red R, and empty like space of the mind as a blue hung. Colors, I think, related to that one. So, yeah. So that way, sealed by the enlightened body, the Taras is a white arm, red R, blue hung, by sealed by the enlightened body, speech, mind. It's called the Vajra body, Vajra speech, Vajra mind. Then said at the red thumb cell from the Aryatara's heart. So here, so the center of the heart center, radiate the light, and the light ray invited the Samaya Sattva. Ayatara Jnana Sattva, surrounded by the infinity of the number of the Buddha and Bodhisattva, and the 3 root and form are the 10 directions. And here, and there said Za Hung Bam Ho. This mantra is the same as I said before. Za Hung Bam Ho. But visualization is a Za as a hook. That hook of the wisdom hook, and the wisdom being from the Pure Land is like a cut here and full toward to you. You are the Samaya beings. And and become close to the, invite by the Za, Hung, and that the wisdom is dissolved to the Samaya, kind of come together, Samaya. And Za Hung, Bam, wisdom and Samaya become inseparable. And the whole, that Samaya is become transformed to the wisdom beings. So this is a reason is in the deity yoga practice is called the 3 characteristics, divine pride, clarity, purity, divine pride. So divine pride, when you're inviting the wisdom beings and you become inseparable with the wisdom beings, even the Samaya is become inseparable wisdom beings, that make us a more authentic, about confident that, oh, I am the deity. So you need that one. If you don't feel I am the deity, then your visualization is not complete. Even you have a clarity and purity perfectly, if you don't have a divine pride about, oh, I am the deity, then your meditation on the deity is not complete. So you must need this confidence about, I am the deity. So by doing this wisdom, beings invite them from the pure land and deserve to you, become inseparable, and you become a nature of that wisdom beings. So that is this 4 mantra: invite, deserve, become inseparable, and become nature of that wisdom beings. Za Hung Bam Ho. Thus, you invited the deity of the empowering activity. This is not empowering activity. This is mistranslation.
It says overpowering.
Yeah, overpowering. This is empowerment deity.
Okay.
This time is you inviting the empowerment deity. It's called the path empowerment. You receive. So, and those empowerment, this is mistranslation. Inviting the empowerment deity, and you have to visualize here, they bestow the empowerment. Okay, so empowerment deity is the same, all the 3 sets of the deities: Buddha, male and female, Bodhisattva, male and female, and wrathful, male and female. So, like a Buddha is a intent on the meditation on the empowerment, and all the female Buddha is holding the nectar field of a vase with the nectar of bodhicitta, completely filled with the nectar of bodhicitta, and male and female Bodhisattva chanting prayer and singing Vajra song, and male and female wrathful protecting and removing the obstacles. That's called the 3 set of empowerment deity. Then when the female Buddha pouring the nectar of bodhicitta on your crown, through your crown open, when that nectar reach to your crown chakra, completely filled with the crown chakra, then you receive the vast empowerment, purified all the body obscurations, negative karma, then plant the seed of a Dharmakaya Buddha. Then continue trouble that the nectar of a bodhicitta and reach to the throat. When reach to the throat, all the channel is completely filled with the throat. So not just channel, whole above the neck, completely filled with the nectar of bodhicitta, and purified all your negative karma created by the speech. Then receive the enlightened speech empowerment. Then the nectar is reached to the at the thought. Then purify all the negative and obscuration created by the mind, and then receive the enlightened mind empowerment. Then the nectar is continue, go to the navel and receive all the enlightened quality empowerment, purifying the subtle obscurations. So this by this, then you purifying all your body, spirit, mind. Then your body is completely filled, all the wash away, all the negative, everything, and your body is completely filled with the nectar of bodhicitta. Then when it's completely full, it's overflowed. That overflowed is transformed to the Buddha Amitabha, Lord of the family. So I think that way said, thus you invited the deity of empowerment, and then the Buddha Amitabha, Lord of the family, ornamented Arya Tara's head. So in your head, so this is a one, nectar of bodhicitta is overflowed on your crown, that is become Buddha Amitabha. So this meditation must go there through that. So one is the English translation is wrong. Two is also you need to add that part of the meditation here. Okay, this is a path empowerment. And inviting the deity invitation prayers, Shri, from the blessed paradise of the Potala and the paradise of the Arya and the Trokot Potala paddle, most excellent. So this is from the Sukhovati Pure Land, from the Potala was the Avalokiteshvara's Pure Land, and Arya in the turquoise is a Tara's Pure Land. All those three Pure Lands, and inviting the excellent, those excellent, well, who you inviting is the assemble of the noble Arya Tara, I invite you to the place and please comes. Okay, then said, whom from the primordial time, I, the Samaya Sattva, and you, the Jnana Sattva, have been one. Please be seated on the such free from union and separation. And by opening of the door of my primordial wisdom, I offered meeting prostration as a seat on the exhaustion of the concept and phenomena. From the primordial time, the Samaya and the Jnana Sattva is one mean the Anuyoga Tantra. And in the Anuyoga Tantra, there's no separation of that. So that way, this is a Tantra is belong to the Anuyoga Tantra, Red Tara is. This is different. Samaya and wisdom. Each action Tantra is what is relationship. Yoga Tantra, Anuyoga Tantra. So Anuyoga Tantra, from the primordially, there are no separation of the wisdom and Samaya beings. So that was. Please be seated such free from union and separations. So that way, this seating is mean that seeing of those two are inseparable. By opening the door of my primordial wisdom, it means the primordial wisdom of awareness of your own nature of mind, and you offering to the prostration. What is a prostration here says? Prostration to the state of the exhaustion of the concept and phenomena. This is called the prostration of the supreme prostration of the view. So view on the emptiness. That way, it said the prostration to the state of the exhaustion of the concept and phenomena. When you reach that one, that's a really true prostration. So there is three kinds of prostration. Supreme one is a medium with a view. Second, the medium is a meditation, prostration of the meditation. Third one is a devotion. Normally, what we do is a third one, the devotion. But this one is the supreme one. Then Samaya Tishtal hand Adipo Hopatitzawa. So Samaya Tishtal hand means that all the Samaya beings be seated together. So then Adipo Hopatitzawa is doing prostration. And offering home of the immensity of the bliss, worldly system of the Buddha field, I offer to the drinking water for the washing, feet, flower, garland. I may offer of the medicine, amrita, blood, ritual, cake, and the justice of the union, that is the supreme bliss. So this is like a one or not like one place or one is say immense of the billion world system. So 1 billion world system is a one Dharmakaya Buddha's field. So that way 1 billion. So like our this one as a one time, and the 1,000 time as a first 1,000. That first 1,000 as a count as a one become 1,000 as a second 1,000. The second 1,000 as a altogether counts one become that kind of a 1,000 is a 3,000. That's a 1 billion number. So billion world system that's come. Why this a billion world system is a this 1 billion world system is a what called the object to the purification of the one Dharmakaya Buddha. Make sense? So that way 1 billion world system. Last time you see this one. Object to liberate by one Dharmakaya Buddha. May offering of the drinking water. So this isn't same as a argam as a drinking water, padam as a water for the washing feet, flower, pushpam, garland, and incense, dubam, butter lamp, or lamb as a aloke, center water or perfume as a gandhi, food as a nudity, and music as a shabda, variety of desirable offerings. So desirable offerings are for sense pleasure of the eye as a form, sense pleasure of the ear as a sound, sense pleasure of the nose as a smell, sense pleasure tongue as a taste, and the sense pleasure of the body as a touch. That's talking about the desirable offering. I may offer of the medicinal amritas. So this is amrita. Blood as mean the nectar. So there's a 5 different kind of medicines. That's a medicine amrita, and the blood is talking about the nectar. What call this? Red offerings. I think can say. Then said cake is mean the torma. So cake means the torma. So a ritual cake should be some kind of edible food. Make sense? Yeah. Then juice of the union, that is a supremely bliss. So this is a I think in the Anuyoga Tantra is called this is called symbolic wisdom, the experience through the union of the bliss. That is symbolic wisdom. So that is a sacred offering, union of the sacred offering. Then I make offering of the clarity of the emptiness as a suchness or ultimate offering, or the meditation on the suchness. The supreme reality that is the permanently pure. I make this offering and assembly of noble Aryatara. So outer, inner, sacred, and suchness offerings, all those offerings here. May you, therefore, please may your pledge of the fulfill, may I be granted both supreme and common siddhi. So there is a supreme siddhi mean the realization of the Mahamantra, become a complete Buddhahood or to reach to the Dharmakaya. And a common city, there's called the 8 common city. It's basically become a long life and things like that, you know. There's a commonly the mundane beneficial. I think basically you can say that one. Then said Oma Ayatare Saparivara Argam ne Shaptapadis. Then Ruba mean the form, Shapta mean the music, Gandhi mean the smell, Rasa mean the taste, Saparshi mean the cloth. Then also said Penza Amida Krankai mean the Pancha Amida. Pancha mean the 5. There's a 5 type of medicine. There's a herbal medicine. There's a 5 main medicine. So that's called the Pancha Amrita. Maharagta mean the blood, and Balinda mean the torma, and Mahasuka, Shukra. Shukra is a kind of white, so as a come from the what called that union, and the Dhammadhatu as the suchness. So this all offering here. Then praise, says Shri, from the supreme Potala paradise, shine the radiant red Tara syllable. The glorious principal Buddha of the 10 direction, and that they are ready to know praise and offering prostration of the ascetic Arya Tara. Like you know, Buddha Bharajana have a 21 Tara supplication to praise, you know. So similarly, all Buddha and Bodhisattva of the 10 directions. Okay, so this one is until that one is called the complete of the generation stage. So this completion of the generation stage is the antidote of the being attached to our body and place. Now, it's a recitation mantra. Yeah, the assembler of the principal deity and that they are ready to know who are in the front of me exude light ray from their body, speech and mind. So there's a two set. But there's no really two set of visualizing. We visualize ourselves as our white Tara, but from Mandala is but you have to arrange mandalas, you know, in the shrine. From that shrine of the mandala deity, and from what you visualize in yourself, both of them, from both of their and ray of light from their body, speech, and mind. The light ray empower me with their blessing, energy, power, and prowess. Therefore, I bless with the magnetizing of the 3,000 volt system of the samsara, the elect, God and Naga, and the human and all are in the motion, hurrying and the scurrying to show me their respect and submission. So this is a kind of actually this two divided into two, because there's a called accomplishment mantra and performing mantra, performing activities. First, you have to visualize yourself as a Tara and reside in the Tara's 10 syllable mantra. So that one is a little bit different than performing mantra. So here you yourself as a Tara, and Tara's main mantra is it doesn't matter which Tara, red Tara, white Tara, green Tara, all the Tara's main mantra is Om Tare Tutare Turi Soha. like white Tara, there's a Mama Ayurjana Pune Pushti Guru. So Mama Ayurjana Pune Pushti Guru is called the performing mantra by longevity. So if you want to perform, first you have to accomplish. So first you have to recite this Om Tare Tu Tare Turi Soha. Yeah, until you become officially officer, you not have a right to perform the duty. So this recitation of Tara's mantra is you become an official. Then later you can perform the enlightened activities. Or another way is saying by reciting that Tara's mantra, you bring to the enlightenment. So once you reach to the enlightenment, then you can perform the enlightened activities. You are not yet reached to the enlightened and try to perform the enlightened activity is impossible. It's basically it's illegal. Yeah, if you don't have authority to perform that one, that is called the enlightened activity. Otherwise, it's just called the activity. Because that only can perform by the enlightened beings. So how to reach to the enlightened beings? Recite the first is the Tara mantra, Om Tare Tu Tare Turi Soha. This 10 syllable. So this 10 syllable Om means the head of all the mantra or the body. Tare means she who liberated. That is a Tare means Tare, Tara or Tare. Tutta means who liberating, Tara who liberating to whom is a miserable one. Tutta means the miserable or grief. Yeah. And Ture means the quickly. Swaha means the bless me that way. So that is what is Tara's mantra means, the Om Tare Tu Tare Turi Soha. Tare, Tara, Tara, Tare means the Tara. Tara means the liberator, who liberate. Okay, from where or whom liberate by Tara is a Tutta. Tut. Tuttare is the miserable one. And Ture means the quickly. So she liberated quickly. So this is called the recite the many times the possible of the main mantra of the Tara. Once you recite this, then this is called the application mantra. Then you can, this is, I think you have to do with the both. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture, Sawa Loka Akarkyayan Za Swaha. When you recite this together, then it becomes the performing mantra. Sarva Loka Akarkyayan Za means all the worldly beings summon. Sawa Loka means Sarva means all, Loka means samsara, all the worldly, and Akarkya. So Akarkya means the summon. Summon, yeah. Za, Swaha. So I think that is the way to recite the full mantra. That is called. And a Vashankuru means also it's called the substance, the material. Summon the material like a wealthy deity, well summoning. Similarly, I think. Niri Angushazaya, Niri means the human beings. Niri also means the man or human. Angushaya means like hook, by a hook, overpowering. So this like the samsara, overpowering the samsara, overpowering in the subset, and overpower the human. I think something like that. So basically by overpowering them beings, and she can liberate. So there's a certain visualization on this overpowering, I think, yourself as a transform into the Tara. From the Tara, thumb manifests as a hook shape of light. And that shape as a hook to the evil beings, and by that one liberate them from the evilness and generate the compassion, and they bring to you in a hook and the beings, and they transform to the devoter. In that way, that you can guide them, liberate them. Because lots of time people think when enlightened beings liberate other sentient beings, it means that sentient being doesn't need to change anything, just liberate. No. You have to change your own consciousness from the evil to the compassionate. So power of the your overpowering or magnetizing activity means that by overpowering through your wisdom overpower or wisdom power, you transform them from the evil to the compassionate one. That is a truly magnetizing activity mean, or overpowering. Make sense? Because sometimes people have an idea of overpowering as a wrong way. Then the sacred conceal mantra is mean the very essence mantra. Lots of time, essence mantra is cannot be described by the explanation. Yeah.
So can you recite just Om Kuru Kukule?
Yeah, you can recite Om Kuru Kule Shri Soha.
Just that.
That's also, yeah. Yeah, but this is a sacred mantra. So I think you can recite both Om Tare Tudare Turi Soha and Om Kuru Kule Shri Soha, both either way. Because the Om Tare Tudare Turi Soha, the 10 syllable is the generally Tara's mantra. Om Kuru Kule is particularly the Richima's mantra. Make sense? So one is a essence mantra of the Tara, and the other one is a very secret concealed mantra of the Kurukuli. But the Kurukuli is also manifestation from the Tara. So I think can say this way. The Om Gurukul Shri Soha is basically just the Gurukul is a mantra. But if you want to perform the enlightened activity of the magnetizing, you need to gain the superpower. How to gain the superpower is that performing this by reciting the Tara's mantra. Because this is those, Om Tare Tudare Turi Soha and Sarva Loka Akarkaya Za is the performing mantra. Sawaloka Akachenza, Washankuru Shinza, Nil Angusha Shaya Hunza. So those are performing mantra. So this performing mantra you have to recite with the 10 syllable. Om Tare Tudare Turi. Sarva Loka Akarchenza Swaha. Om Tare. So I think something like that. So mainly have to recite Om Tare Tudare Turi Swaha. And you can recite that. So I think this way. Om Tare Tudare Turi Soha and Om Kurukulu Shri Soha, those are mainly recite. Then later when you want to perform, then the Loga Akarkaya and those can do. But I think right now just mainly recite these two, Om Tare Tudare Turi Soha and Om Kurukulu Shri Soha. So performing mantra maybe not necessarily have to recite right now. So I asked Jangar Rinpoche, then should be Om Gurukuli next to Om Tare Tudare. He said, supposed to be that way. But why is it this one? Is I think reason is because of after your accomplishment mantra, then you have to perform. So I think this performing mantra as it can be used both way. I don't know. You can ask, but very secret mantra of the Kurukulis. Then this Omkulukulushi Soha. You can. Said emanating and absorbing the process of the visualization are traditionally prescribed. Yeah. So there's a detailed visualization on this. But I think right now we can just leave as this way. Then said so then you may do the 21 prostration Tara prayer here, or you can do that one, 21 Tara. And when you're doing that one, actually you can also do the prostration. Then if you cannot do that whole 21 Tara, then at least you do this one, the 10th one. Homage to the joy of the great manifestation whose splendid head ornament send out, garland of the light with the great laughter of the Tutara, you subjugate demon and their world. So as earlier I mentioned, subjugate the demon and their world. So here, homage to the joy of the joy of a great magnificence is mean that they give by Tara, give the joy to the devoted one, faithful one, and who is sparkling, head ornament, sit out the garland of the light. So this what called CG is magnificent of the light and overpower all the non-devoted one. Can say non-devoted one or wrongly motivated beings overpowered by this sparkling ornament of the light garland. So then her laughter of the Tutara you subjugate demon and their world. So demon as evil beings, their world mean the beings overpowered by being and players overpowered by those demons. So demon is basically here is talking about all the maras. Earlier I mentioned there's in the worldly most powerful 4 maras: Indra, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Most powerful of the form realm is the Brahma. Most powerful of the desire realm of the God as Indra. Most powerful of the demigod is Vishnu. Most powerful of the human as Shiva. So overpowered by those 4. So, and it mean the rest of the beings over, until their control, they all subjugate under the Tara's power. Somebody asked, is this, I think this 3 mantras can add together, or, whatever you have a particular action, you can separate, you can specific, but generally. So Sawaloka Agarkeza, Washanguru, Shinza, near Angushaza, Shaya Hunza, maybe can add together. So, I think so. I'm not sure, but Dare to Dare Turi, Sawaloka Agarkeza, Washanguru, Shinza, Ni Agushaya Hunza, Swaha. I think you can make together or separately, each one, each mantra. Okay, then recite this mantra with the prayer many times. Then dedication. Assembly of the Victoria Conqueror, Noble Arya Tara, and the host deity, please bless my continuum. By the measure of my actualized Tara and without the blessing, missing one single sentient being, may I be liberated from the Buddha field of Arya Tara. Then now stay in the meditation of the focusless primordial purity. It means that you have to visualize the dissolution. Mandala of the Tara is dissolved to the Tara. Tara dissolved to the seed syllable. Seed syllable dissolved to from the bottom to top until it becomes invisible. That invisible state is called here. Is called the stay in the meditation of the focusless primordial purity. Why it is a focusless? Because now there's no focal object remain anymore. So that way it's become a focusless. And that nature is a primordially pure. It's not just become a pure. Make sense? So, and stay on that state much as you can. Then dedication later. Dagini Karma Dharma Tara again and again urge me to write sadhana. Therefore, the purpose of the promoting the Buddha's Dharma, this text was composed by the Kurawa Dudu Dorji in Dergi, Tibet. And I received this transmission from Roger Rinpoche, and Roger Rinpoche received from the younger Rinpoche in Tibet, and he received from this teacher, Tibetan. Yeah, so this transmission. Pe demain gombo konde nobu gyule wanje ayatare gyunyengundu pe ma chejushi jo so nama ayatare maha ayatare namo ne pusu to bete na do nana chudo bebe tunda be mugo de go jamne yata bo ranji nyangana bo soto balama da wanda ma de malana ngoso de shubara jo namo chugo na yan go jere se dugo benyo kandu se ma ayatare kujo kunala jan chepse jo saman so jiru ni de dugo se na mi jiru jo ma soji xian do damjo man dan jo be se yela so yela de mana se hon se yang da dugo no jo no ayatare Churches such as Son Ramjan Shinji Dinta Shubala, Kosum Gube Chance Deja Loyana Chubachatan, Kunjo Pamansala, British Sonia Zoja, Chuku Kolo Koro, Iran Yangam, and the Shusun Javajas to Mojangela, so almost about Domani. Domanga, Namajaba Deda, Damada, Damataya Mambo, the Gage, Penichimo, Penial Hatcham, but then the Jesus and the Damana. Masa saja coba, saya cakap basis tu baca troja nama jago je cutu lembar langsung cawa nyam dan demba cak tampo ni apa macam tu. Yang bemama baca je caca je tukeran zamba, omanya je bemanga manda je sesuatu ya kau je. Tomanya dan je suatu juga dan je jangan sombata dah je, nama je. Uda nano kujo sewara trawa number toshin sawe baka jaba kura ranja wanji lazo ji lubadara shuba sabata gabadama ama to samba to ga dama bago se jana mama drama chuju sanji chuju sasun ranji ji soda jaba baza sama za hom bama ho wanji la jana ri da ba 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 wana wa yo jana ban se de jaga jaga la la Jizumba Madama Jendana Shesu Maidara Sabaro and Bazamaza Dona Hon Dona Tanzi, Shiga to Demba Bashuba Zajabai, that was the child laws of my distant at the moment. On Chobana Hon, Donson Shingaram, Chanji Chun, Shazam Mendoda, Ama, Dobenazam, Dishes, Romano Chun, Mandara, the Thomas Yanjo, the Devecho. Sadwa Gada Waje George, Zampamadamazo, Nishela, Tutan Kanjun, Sotan to Mongondo, Maya Tarasa, Parvara, Arkan, Swan, Shabda Rupa, Shabda Mahabanzam, the Karankaya, Mara, the Karankaya, Mahabala, the Karankaya, Masuka Shuta, Tamata, to Banashi, Batalan. Choji Jawa to the Gopamando Bachata, Yemen, and do to call Hazo, to give us a chilon, the Sawango Dallas, but also Tony, Hello, Miss Cheko, Yaya Shichi, Tala Tishin, Dubra, Jo, that to Rajama, Raja, Sawalo. Near Angushaya, Honza, some of Kurkulush, so hard member to the Conjonas, Kawaja, Rona Chazi, Chandar, the Chumden, the Pomadama, Daki tamatare yagu atena jura to do doje de gilundo sinjun de wajanam chula dende se chu science sun chusu ni gido bo resan kende lemeche control children sano permit you about to jump gele pel Janjo sem jo rembo Maje bana je joje ke bai nyam bai mem bai kone gondo pe wo sho. Okay, there's some question I think. What is the difference between the Kurukuli and Retara? I think Kurukuli and Retara is the same, but I think it's not much different. But there's a even Retara, there's a many different, you know. So I think this is a little bit different city. So first we recite Om Tara. Yeah, I think so. First we recite the Om Tara to the Turiso, then later recite the Lechurunga performing mantra. What is the sadhana? I think sadhana maybe Lama share here. Different mantra when the application mantra at all the three. I think application mantra, I really don't know exactly, but maybe you can add all three together or you can recite separately. Red Tara standing and the sitting position while Mara and under her feet. Thank you. So this one is a kind of sitting, that this Tara is a sitting. So and the sitting, and she is also some photo. This photo not have, but the other photo, there's the photo that she is sitting on the sitting on the some beings underneath, so that is called the Mara. So, but this photo it not show. So, and they're saying this being is a dead corpse, basically dead corpse, not a living. Yes.
Question on that.
Yeah.
So those Maras, like when you said Brahma and Indra,